What are we doing? Now, what the fuck are we doing? Benjamin Netanyahu, the Palestinian Grim Reaper, the Prime Minister of Israel, the guy overseeing a horrible genocide happening in Palestine, didn't go on CNN, didn't go on BBC. He went on the Nelk Boys. Hey, BB, you want to full send it? Yeah, no, it's not because BB wanted to full send it, and despite what people may think. It's because his PR team ran the numbers. They see the Nelk Boys audience. They see what they were able to accomplish for Donald Trump, JD Vance, Elon Musk. A young, male, angry audience that loved the pranks, that loved the drinking. And they said, yo, perfect. These guys will believe anything. This was not a random interview. It was propaganda. It was state-sponsored propaganda. If you've never heard of the Nelk Boys, round of applause, congratulations. You haven't reached that part of the internet before. They're what happens when Project X becomes a content strategy. Shotgunning beers, gambling, sexualizing women, pranks. You know, the good old stuff. Early 2010 type of stuff. It's frat culture given a camera and a management team. And for the longest time, the Nelk Boys were honestly harmless. Dumb, but harmless. Until somebody, some evil marketing genius, looked at the data and realized we can take advantage of these kids. This audience is gold. They're loyal, they're angry, and they don't really do that much research. Let's weaponize them. So suddenly Nelk Boys are no longer chasing clout on TikTok, but they're interviewing Elon Musk or JD Vance and even Donald Trump. But now it's Prime Minister Netanyahu. This shit is terrifying. The Netanyahu interview, it's not journalism, it's PR. Full stop. There was clearly approved questions for these guys.
So we walked in and there was just like 20 people in suits there.
Yeah.
The setup was already there, both flags, we couldn't touch anything or move anything.
And they don't give you any restrictions like don't ask this.
I'll be honest, they gave us a paper with questions to ask.
Even when it was kind of a hard question, something that put him on alert, they freely let him say their response with zero pushback. And some of you may be like, well, isn't what they said enough if they ask the questions? No. If you're going to have a prime minister from another country who's committing what they're committing, do the due diligence, do some research. You let a war criminal reframe his critics, justify his policies, and repaint the genocide. And you sat there like, yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy shit, crazy. Damn. Wow. Do you like Burger King or McDonald's?
You like Burger King over McDonald's?
That's your worst take, I think.
Absolutely.
What?
That's your worst take, I think.
Absolutely.
At one point, you even accused the New York State Assemblyman Zohran Mamdani of being an anti-Semite. That just shows that they don't dig deep. They look at what X has to say, and that's truth. That's the unfortunate realization that I've come to, is that there is a generation of young men that are looking strictly to X for their news. And then, of course, came the backlash, because of course it did. The Nelk Boys fully thought that here's a controversial guy. Our audience is going to eat this up. I'm happy that they underestimated their audience. Their comments on that video were digging into them, and it's well deserved.
Committing a genocide on your podcasts, this shit feels so dystopian. Reputation takes years to build and just seconds to ruin. Nelk thinks their audience is stupid.
The Nelk Boys were in a panic, and they did what all serious people do when they're trying to damage control. They live streamed their response. And who did they bring on to help them to clarify things? Nick Fuentes, Sneeko, Myron Gaines. What? The other side is what they started to claim. You bring on a white nationalist incel and a couple manosphere grifters to explain geopolitics? Of course, they had Adam Friedland, which Steiny was a guest on his show, so that's where that line of communication is, I guess. And then Hassan Piker, who was also on Steiny's podcast. And a lot of people are accusing them of woke scolding them. But they were just telling them what it was. They were explaining the ramifications of their actions because they were honestly dumbfounded. They had no clue why. Steiny kept on saying, like, if you had the opportunity, wouldn't you? No, dude. You guys acknowledge that it's like interviewing modern day Hitler.
Someone said having Netanyahu on is like having modern day Hitler.
No, I saw that.
Which is, honestly, guys, I'll be honest. I'm here to... That's a good point.
Be serious. That's the issue, is you have been taken serious. You have platformed and justified, and honestly, you guys changed the 2024 election, let's be honest. But now you guys are taken seriously. And unfortunately for you, mask off, you guys are not serious. You guys don't do the research. You guys don't take responsibility of the audience that you have. And like you said, you guys are trying to get somebody from the other side. But what is the other side, okay? Because we have the Prime Minister of Israel. And let's say the other side is Palestine, obviously, right? So the leader of Hamas or What's the other side? Because no serious Palestinian scholar or pro-Palestinian commentator is going to take you guys seriously. Unless you want them to just scold you, because honestly, that's your only way out of it. If you're wanting to get somebody from the other side, you better be prepared to just be scolded, like you deserve. A lot of people think scolding isn't valid, but let's be honest, they need to be scolded. They need to be told to their face the history, the complexities of the issue, and change, and acknowledge it. That's the only way out I see it. But that's not how it's going to go, and you and I both know that. And here's honestly my main problem of this whole thing. Stupid people now shape political discourse. It's not just that the Nelk Boys are dumb. We've always known that. And honestly, I don't mean to be rude by calling them dumb. In the context of silly content, pranks, and stuff like that, it's harmless. Go ahead and do it, you know? Now they're in the realm of politics, which all power to you. I'm not one of those people that say, like, you should only stick with what you're good at or what you built your audience on. But if you're going to go into that realm, take responsibility and accountability for the messages that you're going to be pushing. Their platform now decides who gets to speak and what gets normalized. And that's a terrifying new standard. You no longer need credentials or expertise. You just need clout and vibes. This is what I mean by vibe politics. It's not about the truth. It's about the messenger and the vibes that they put out. And Netanyahu understands this the most. The man has been in the political sphere for countless amount of years, has talked with many presidents, which he bragged about in the podcast. But hey, there's more to discover about him, right? And hey, it's probably going to be neutral, right? No. He knows what he's doing. He's putting out a message, and he's hoping people fall for it. He just wanted a viral platform, and he wanted to smile a little and let the dumb guy's audience carry the water for him. The Nelk Boys' legacy on this earth genuinely might be making the worst people in the world seem relatable. Their contribution to history might be letting war criminals rebrand themselves with a frat boy PR. Just because someone has an audience doesn't mean that they deserve their platform. Their vibe is not a political worldview. Let's just dig deeper.
Nelk thinks their audience is stupid.
Full send it.